beautiful people. It is Thursday, the 17th of April. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. And of course, like we are every blessed day, we're hosted by the very best. Good morning, Brent. How you doing, man?
I'm blessed and highly favored, just my tired. How are you?
Yeah, we thank God, man. We thank God.
I have to try and keep the levels up, man. My entire body is finished.
Damn.
Just a PSA. If we extend an invitation into the studio to anybody in the community, anybody outside, whatnot, especially for those that they've been asking to come on for the longest while, and we make arrangements, right? We shift things around for them to be able to come in and have a blessed conversation within these walls, and you look to abscond, you will never be invited again. Do you hear that? You will never be invited again.
Sensational.
How was your yesterday? Yesterday evening.
It was alright, man. How was yours, Brent?
Hella round, but never mind. Never mind. Life of Bodge says, Brent, you should be on camera for this one, Tokyo. Oh, you're talking about Arsenal.
Yeah, indeed.
It's so interesting. I had a few people hit me up yesterday, bricking themselves, right? Normally composed individuals.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is there a psychological war going on within the Arsenal fan base, or the wider community that's pressing or pushing onto the Arsenal fan base? Because with what we saw last week, right, and Arsenal fans should be observing that Arteta has made us structurally sound, right, since he's been shifting things around and whatnot. So you should have more confidence than you do going into each game. But the commentary that happens in the media space, online and whatnot, I do believe it has an effect on the psyche
100%.
of the Arsenal fan.
100%.
Right? That causes them undue stress, anxiety, and it chips away at your experience whilst watching it. Right? So much so that if Saka does what he did, you're going like, now we're gonna lose, right?
Yeah.
But I think that also would then translate into the crowd and then have a adverse effect on how they support the team or how they believe in the team, and that also then bleeds into how the team plays. Do you understand? And if it is that we suffer a madness from the bent and wayward officials or officiating system, it's not that we focus on. It's Arteta's fault.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to simplify things, mind you. Please don't think I'm trying to simplify things. I do believe that Arteta has to hold corn for certain things, 100%. But look at what he has done, absent us having the players for the majority of the season. Look at where he's taken us, right? And again, I'm coming into this particular game, I'm feeling confident because I know that our defense is sound. I know that the structure of our team is intact, right? The organization levels completely different, right? It's what is needed to go into an away game at this mother effing stadium that has so much lore around it, so much history, right? I heard so many Arsenal fans proper bricking it, right? You're 3-0 up. 3-0 up, and you've seen how we've been playing. Absent our players, right? We ain't got no mother effing strikers. We've got Marino up top. Do you understand? Look.
But you don't play Real Madrid, the likes of Real Madrid, in the Premier League, and you don't necessarily do.
When you say the likes of Real Madrid, what do you mean by that? Do you mean a particular team who, for the course of our known existence, have been delivering left, right, and centre, not
100%.
just at home, but also in European competitions
100%.
and whatnot?
Yes.
Cool, fair.
And also the nature of the competition. Arsenal can have an amazing season, right? Go into the Champions League and kind of.
Bear in mind, we've been playing Man United. We've been playing Liverpool. These two are big boys. We're big boys. Sorry, Liverpool is.
Yes,
Liverpool is a big boy, right? But I take your point. Continue.
No, I think that might be the reason why, because Arsenal, they've hurt a lot of us, man. You know what I'm saying? The team, whatever it is, and I think people sometimes, I don't know, like that memory is fresh in their head. You know what I'm saying? That even though we're 3-0 up, Arsenal might be Arsenal.
The Discord is open, right? I don't wanna spend too long here because I am gonna talk about this in the reaction, yeah. But I don't know if you just said that Arsenal has his history, right, with Arsenal, right? And I think I did say yesterday that we have prior, right? But I also did say, brother, we're 3-0 up. And we have the defense that we have. Do you realize my confidence shouldn't be where it is, given the team that we don't have on the pitch? And I only have this confidence because of what Arteta has done with this team over the course of the last 2 to 3 seasons. Do you understand? Despite what we know we don't have, right, lining up on that pitch, and I'm just talking about the forwards, innit? Because some people might say like we had everybody just minus Havertz, Jesus, and that's a fair shout. Yeah, fair shout. But we still have Mourinho up front. Do you understand? And if you can see what we did yesterday and not be encouraged that yes, we're gonna have Havertz coming back, we're gonna have Jesus coming back, but brother, we are looking for a striker. I've already been told we're stretching out that Jorginho, right? And we're definitely going to be getting an attacking wide forward. So, provided we do that, right? And bear in mind, our left back, our mother Evan left back, class. At such a young age, supreme being. But I'm sure we're still going to be getting a left back. Understand, there is too many good things to be hopeful for at this stage of the season for Arsenal and Arsenal fans. Right? Just regardless of what we do next round. Regardless of what we do next round.
But what okay. But why does it always seem like it's regardless of what we do next round? I know you're not saying
because
this all the time, but
I
do you get what I'm
don't
saying?
want it to be that we hang on the result of the next round.
Okay.
What I've seen now, it should bode you with enough to believe.
Have you not felt this sort of way like last season or maybe the season before?
Yeah, I've been saying this though.
And I think this is what the Arsenal fans feel.
No. So just expound on that a tiny bit.
What I mean is in terms of the confidence, the encouragement, like, you know what? We got second last year. If we had the stamina, the mental fortitude, we should have won the league, etc., etc. Maybe not last year, the year before, whichever one,
Yeah.
And all we need to do is buy one player. All we need to do is buy this. There's always all I need is one or this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it seems like that's the same story. So I think that contributes to it.
I agree 100% that Arteta needs to hold corn for last summer. When I say Arteta, I'm only saying Arteta because that's who everybody's blaming. I do believe the board
Of course.
should actually hold that corn, because I do believe Arteta would have wanted to have a proper striker coming in, because you kind of saw that they were looking to go after Tesco, right? So then we had that January window. Again, they need to hold corn for that. They need to hold corn for that. 120%.
So, is that going to change though, Brent? This summer?
But this is what has already been put into the public.
By the media.
That there's a massive war chest, being set aside. Now, I'm not saying that I should just blindly just believe them.
Yeah, of course.
But I believe them.
Yeah.
I believe that they know full well if it is that they don't look to equip Arteta, the fan base is going to get him out of it, whether it was warranted or not.
Get who out of it?
Arteta.
All right,
when I said fan base, I'm talking about the toxic aspect of the fan base, right? And I'm only talking about the toxic aspect of the fan base here. Only.
But then they find themselves in the same position, trying to look for another manager to do something that Arteta hasn't been able to do, which is because of them.
But they claim that it's his stubbornness, his inexperience.
This is what the board is saying.
No, the toxic.
Okay.
So they claim it's his inexperience. They claim he's an also-ran, just nearly there, right? And so many other managers would be able to come in and do the job. Do you understand? Now, I'm not looking to ridicule them without a representative being here, because I know how triggering that might be, hearing all of this and not being able to give responses to it. But I'll be down if it is I ever look to see what I had seen when Izzy came in, where he took us from, where he's brought us to, where the expectation is this. The expectation is wild on this same inexperienced man, this same stubborn man. Do you understand? This man who can't get us over the line, right?
Yep.
I can remember when Marks was sat here every single season saying, on paper, you ain't supposed to be where you are, right? And he would say, next season, you ain't making top 4.
Yeah.
And he would say this religiously until he couldn't use those bars anymore. So the tactic now is to get us to believe that we should have already won 3 Premier Leagues, right? And that this manager, right? This manager who, again, on paper, shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Next season, nope, you're not even going to reach top 4, right? This same manager, he wants us to now
to get rid of.
Expect more from him. And if we don't get it, then we should replace him. They want that. And the thing is, it's gotten into the Arsenal fan base's psyche, right? So much so that the Man United fans, they don't need to be doing anything anymore. They've done their job, then they will just sit back. And look where they are, just languishing and just shite, right? But that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. So they would just sit back, and the Arsenal fan base are this. They're eating away at themselves without any need for anything else. But anyway, my confidence levels will remain high, and I really do want Arteta to be able to get some joy from this season, because a lot has happened. Like he has put in so much work, right? At least something. And I'm not saying win the Champions League. That'll be beautiful, because the weird thing about it, if he wins the Champions League, nobody's they're saying anything else. Forget about all that other crap that you have contributed to put us in the place where we're doubting our position, our trajectory, our advancements in such a short space of time. Brother, I lived in the era when we were successful, and then when it is that we were like, oh my God, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
And this is year in, year out, year in, year out, year in, year out, to the point where we were a laughing stock, right? But apparently now, within the space of a few years, we are just supposed to just be the best team in the world and expected to just deliver. Where is this entitlement coming from?
That is true,
And again, in saying all of that, the board was they were bad. They were bad to not basically give him the tools needed to just flex crazily.
Why is the board like this though? Because they've been like this for.
What do you mean? Because what board are you talking about? And what period of time in which it is that you're now looking at the reference?
Because it always seems as though the board is the reason for something, right? Maybe access to funds or whatever it may be. Even during the Wenger period.
Don't say that, because Wenger was the person who held the purse strings. He set the culture of, let's do this differently.
Yeah.
I want my legacy to not be like, you just give me a bit of money and we did this, that, and next. I believe he always had the opportunity to basically spend money, and he chose to do what it is that he did.
To be fair, I think you're right. Because he was a great economist. You know what I'm saying? He saw the long-term legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't want Real Madrid to have to come to Highbury and only play in front of 25,000. Right? He saw the main thing, the main vision. You know what I'm saying? Big up Wenger, man.
Yeah, big up, but there's no revisionist history coming over here with that man. All right, let's get into the headlines.
Yep. All right, people. So our first set of headlines. The British and French governments are involved in early talks about a returns agreement that would involve both countries exchanging people seeking asylum. Officials have discussed a pilot scheme under which a small number of people who come across the channel to the UK by irregular means will be sent back to France. The UK will look to accept from France a limited number of people who have a right to be in Britain, especially those with a case for family reunification. And Home Office insiders have described the talks, first reported in the Financial Times, as positive. A Home Office spokesperson said that the government was intensifying its collaboration with France and other European countries. Next headline, which will be our topic of the day, the UK Supreme Court has issued a historic and definitive ruling that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act refer only to a biological woman and to biological sex. In a decision that delighted gender-critical activists, 5 judges ruled unanimously that the legal definition of a woman in the Equality Act 2010 did not include transgender women who hold GRCs, gender recognition certificates. The judgment could have far-reaching ramifications, of course, and lead to greater restrictions on the access for trans women to services and spaces reserved for women. It prompted calls for the UK's laws on gender recognition to be rewritten, but we're going to get into that. Next headline, and China has attacked MPs for their arrogance, ignorance, and twisted mindset amid a growing diplomatic row over British steel. A spokesperson for Beijing's embassy in London criticised the anti-China rhetoric of certain politicians and warned it could damage economic and trade cooperation between Britain and the communist country. In a statement, he said British Steel's plans to close its blast furnaces and build electric arc furnaces instead was a normal decision and had only happened as a result of Ed Miliband's net zero plans. Spokesman also warned that instead of slandering the Chinese government and Chinese enterprises, MPs should be criticizing Donald Trump over tariffs. He also said any words or deeds that politicize or maliciously hype up business issues will undermine the confidence of Chinese business investors in the UK and damage China-UK economic and trade cooperations. Next headline, and scientists have found new but tentative evidence that a faraway world orbiting another star may be home to life. Are we hearing this, Brent? A Cambridge team studying the atmosphere of a planet called K2-18b has detected signs of molecules which on Earth are only produced by simple organisms. This is the second and more promising time that chemicals associated with life have been detected in the planet's atmosphere by NASA's James Webb Space Telescope. But the team and the independent astronomers stressed that more data is needed to confirm these results, right? The lead researcher, Professor Niku, told me at his lab, this is what the person who's reporting on this said, told me at his lab at Cambridge University's Institute of Astronomy that he hopes to obtain the clinching evidence soon. He went on to say that this is the strongest evidence yet. There still is possibly life out there. I can realistically say that we can confirm the signal within 1 to 2 years. Next headline, and The Guardian has revealed that UK officials are tightening security when handling sensitive trade documents to prevent them from falling into US hands amid Donald Trump's tariff war, in an indication of the strains on the special relationship. That's a thingy. British civil servants have changed document handling guidance, adding higher classifications to some trade negotiation documents in order to better shield them from American eyes. The White House has upended global financial markets and torn up key relationships with unpredictable and rapidly changing taxes on trading partners, including China, the EU, and the UK. And sources said that officials were told that the change in protocols was specifically related to tensions over important issues on trade and foreign policy between Washington and London. Keir Starmer has prioritized striking a deal with Washington, opting not to retaliate over Trump's decision to impose 10% tariffs on goods exported to the US and 25% tariffs on UK car and steel exports, instead offering concessions on areas including digital taxes and agriculture. The next headline is about Eddie Marson. I feel like you guys know Eddie Marson. Well, for me anyway, I know him by his face in it, but not by his name. So, Ben, if you don't mind putting up a picture of Eddie Marson, Marsan. He basically dedicated his OBE to his East London community. And yeah, for those who don't know, he starred in Sherlock Holmes, Mission Impossible, and Viva Vendetta. And he said that he owes everything to his community and wants to share his OBE with them. Marson is 56, who recently played Amy Winehouse's father, Mitch, in the film Back to Black, was made an OBE for his services to drama at an investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle on Wednesday. The son of a lorry driver and a school dinner lady, the actor was raised in a council estate in Bethnal Green, East London. When he heard that he was on the New Year's honours list, Marson said he wanted to share his OBE with Bethnal Green and his family. After the ceremony, he said, "When I was younger, my parents had a difficult marriage, but the members of my community, the members of the St. Lucian community in Bethnal Green, and the East End bookmaker who paid for me to go to drama school, they all kind of stepped up, and I owe everything to them." And our last headline takes us to Mozambique, where Mozambique's security forces carried out a brutal 3-month crackdown on protesters after the country's election last year. This is what a leading international rights group said on Wednesday, citing local activists who alleged that more than 300 people were killed and more than 3,000 people were injured in the unrest. In its new report, Amnesty International called on Mozambican authorities to investigate the killings and all rights violations in the wake of the election and to bring law enforcement officials responsible to justice. Thousands of Mozambicans took part in waves of protests in weeks after the October 9th presidential and parliamentary election, where Daniel Chapo of the ruling Frelimo party was declared the winner amid allegations of rigging and election fraud raised by his challengers and international observers. The protests were in support of Venancio Mondlane, who ran as an independent candidate but was supported by the opposition Podemos party. The demonstration intensified after October 18th, the killing of Mondlane's lawyer and a Podemos official who were fatally shot by gunmen late at night while sitting in a car in the Mozambican capital, Maputo. Sad. But yes, that's pretty much it for the headlines, Brent.
Is that all of them?
That's all of them.
All right. Let me just respond to my lovely Stacey. Apparently, she has stumbled on a YouTube short. And here we go. I just came across a TDA YouTube short, and you are a funny guy. Thank you. Well, let's see if I should be getting this praise. Hold up. This is so finicky. All right, next one. Title was Kenyan Raised in Compton Talks Intra-Racial Dynamics. I said, that sounds interesting. Wonder what they said. Whole time it was me.
Yep.
And then she followed up by saying, literally just lolled. So I don't make the clips for YouTube. Our brother Christopher in Nigeria does.
Big up Christopher
Big
from
up
Nigeria.
Christopher. Now he's been asking me for the longest while to check out some files that he's done, right? So I kind of onboarded him to just focus on the YouTube clips and stuff. And he's been slacking a bit. Like he takes shortcuts and stuff, right? But I'm not paying it any mind until the thing. You get me? Right? Because it's gonna be an entire overhaul of everything, right?
Yep.
So I'm not paying it any mind just yet. But he's been pushing me. Go and check the folder. I just need to go and check the folder, right? It would take a few seconds, but I keep on forgetting. So he sent a message again, I think it was yesterday, and I sent a voice note saying, look, if I don't do it today, call me, right? And then when it is I see his missed call, because I ain't going to answer the phone, because I'm going to be busy, right? When I see his missed call, I'm like, let me do it right now, right? Anywho, I don't make the YouTube clips, and based on what you see in the YouTube clips, you should know I don't make it. No shade. But there's a different style I use, right? But all those who are worrying about all these fantastic episodes that we've been having, the ones that us, the ones with the community, the ones with the guests, and you see no clips, right? Don't worry, I'm storing all of them, right? When I have the time, I am coming back. But again, when the ting, overall, ting. I don't want to be wasting resources until I need to basically just go ham in it. But soon come. And this whole road to 10K, everything's changing, bro. Everything's changing, bro. There's going to be that feed on our YouTube channel that seems completely empty because we do lives and we keep the live on, right? That's going to change. Everything's going to change. But don't worry. We're prioritizing different things right now.
Yes.
But Stacey, I do that clip. But you should have known it was you, Kenyan.
Compton.
Anywho, can you jump into people's journal? And I want to play you a clip, right? And I think this clip, I'm not sure if it's going to rock your world, right?
Wow.
But it should pause your brain and have it kind of percolating on a couple of things that I've kind of said over the last, 12 months.
Okay.
Because you all see me as a UAP, not in it. You all see me as this fringe mother effing black boy, right? Who puts time and energy into things he shouldn't be doing because all of it is just bollocks, right? And I know that y'all kind of have a reverence for white men in suits in offices of power, right? Maybe saying the same thing. It will give a little veracity or credibility to it that you're not going to take from me, this Trinidadian storyteller. You understand? But we'll see. You know, the experts and a well-researched comparison again. Yeah? All right. But just after you do the People's Journal, I got something for you.
Okay, cool.
I got something for you. Let me load the People's Journal clip up. So there's a parliamentary procedure.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. It's not much to talk about, to be fair. But I did want to mention that the UK inflation rate falls more than expected, man, to 2.6% in March. So it's gone down to 2.6% in March. What they're saying, though, they're saying that falling petrol prices is the reason why it's driven down the rate in it. So in February, it was 2.8%. It's gone down to 2.6%. But the fall may only be temporary. Why? Because the analysts are saying that it's expected to spike from April. Why? Because of the rise in bills, the higher business costs, all that sort of stuff that I said, well, that, you know, the government made us aware of would change from the 1st of April. So even though it's down 2.8%, slightly to 2.6% in March, it may go back up, man, in April. But we'll see what happens. Regarding all these figures, though, the Chancellor Rachel Reeves, she said that the latest figures are encouraging. And she said that there's more to do, right? So obviously she's aware, and she's probably factoring in that in April it may go up anyway. But I think long term, especially based on some of the figures that the OBR kind of put out there and what they expect, they're saying that I think long term, over the course of 5 years, inflation will drop. I believe the last time we spoke about this, they said it would go up this year and next year. But I believe from 2028, 2029, it's going to steadily go down again. And hopefully, I think within 5 years or so, I may have my figures a bit wrong here, but within 5 years or so, it may hit the target. So the Bank of England, they forecast inflation to rise further, right, this year to 3.7%. But they're saying by the end of 2027, so 2027, 2 years' time, it's still going to stay above the 2% target. But I think over the 5 years from now, what they're saying it is that it probably will hit the 2% target. But we'll see what happens. Because obviously within that time frame, so many things change. Also wanted to mention, for the people that shop at Shein and Temu, all these Chinese online retail giants and that, they've warned that the US customers, that the goods are going to get pricier from next week. So I don't know if that's going to affect the UK as well, but you know what I mean?
We're not beefing them.
No, but you just never know what happens.
We got hit with tax too, innit?
Yeah, from the US. Mm-hmm. But because obviously they've been hit with the whole 125% tariffs and on top of some other crap, they're saying, listen, guys, it's obviously going to inevitably affect.
Share the burden, yeah?
No, I'm saying like
the US.
Predominantly the US people. Apparently they almost put out almost identical statements. She and Temu, and basically what they're saying is that they've seen operating expenses rise due to recent changes in global trade rules and tariffs, right? Adding that they are going to now be making price adjustments from the 25th of April. So again, just to reiterate, from the 25th of April, especially our US listeners, things will change, man. Things will change. Also, the UK government has brought in a temporary ban on holiday makers bringing in cheese and meat products from the EU, right? Why are they doing this? Is it because of money, Brent?
No.
It is because they're trying to prevent the spread of foot and mouth disease. So, guys, if you're bringing in cheese, who goes to Europe and brings in cheese and meat?
People who know that the cheese and meat in Europe is better than the cheese and meat here.
I mean, it's got foot and mouth.
That's what they want you to believe in it.
That's what they're saying.
No flavor.
But yeah, my travellers have not been allowed to bring back items such as cured meats and cheese, including in sandwiches, by the way, since Saturday, due to a growing outbreak on the continent. And the restrictions apply, man, regardless of whether the goods are packed or packaged or bought from duty-free. Bear that all in mind, people. Yeah.
And saying Europe is so vague.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But they're saying, listen, not interested. And this follows an earlier ban on similar products from Germany, Hungary, Slovakia, and Austria. Why? Because they got rising cases of cattle disease in their countries as well, man. So yeah, long story short, these restrictions apply to people traveling into Great Britain. So not Northern Ireland, Jersey, Guernsey, or the Isle of Man, but yeah, into Great Britain. So yeah, man, just in case you want to try, people, your products will be seized and destroyed if you try to bring them in. And anyone who's trying to bring in, like, I don't know, a huge amount, that they would consider a serious case, will be fined up to £5,000. So to wrap up, guys, meat, cheese, banned. So that's your pork. Don't know why you're eating pork, to be fair. But anyway, pork, beef, lamb, mutton, goat, venison, any other products made from these meats, sausages, example, milk and dairy products, butter, cheese, yogurt, all that sort of stuff, banned. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
All right, are you ready for the clip?
Yeah.
Can you hazard a guess as to what I might be loading up?
I was thinking two things. I was thinking something to do with UFOs and stuff. Yeah, I was also thinking something related to Terrence Howard. Yeah. Then a part of me is starting to think, ooh, it might be somewhat related to Trump. You know what I mean? Black Rocky, Trump BlackRocky sort of, you know what I mean? So I'm interested.
All right. Well, the White House just released something. Let's play this.
Yes, the White House has just admitted on the record that we possess the technology to manipulate time and space. In other words, time travel, teleportation technology, yes. The ability to transport large military craft from point A to point B nearly instantaneously. Seriously, just like what the United States did when they teleported flight MH370. Of course, we've covered that extensively here on the show. Friend of the show, Ashton Forbes, who's done in remarkable.
This is what people do, innit? This is what people do when they tell stories. So we're following him. In fact, this is what Terrence Harris does. We're following him. Okay, okay. White House said this. I'm following you. Just like when the White House teleported, MH, whatever it was, yeah. That's not confirmed. But he's thrown it in and acted as though it is confirmed. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people are saying it is.
So you just said it wasn't confirmed.
Yeah.
By whom?
Teleported.
Sorry, you just said it wasn't confirmed.
Yes.
Where do you need to hear it from in order for you to say yes?
I don't know. I really don't know. But it sounds like it's only heard about on certain channels that you would listen to. You know what I'm saying? The Gaias of the world.
You know how you keep saying the best place to hide progress and information is where? For black people? In books.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. This is how that bar resonates.
Yes.
It resonates the same way you saying what you just said.
It's a YouTube channel. That's not hidden. It's right there. I just have to listen to TDA on Wednesdays, right? And then and Thursdays now, right? And we're gonna get this information. It's not hidden.
Maybe I should have played this.
Sorry, play again. Sorry,
I just told
go back
you,
a bit and play it.
Your people, right? The people that you basically take all word from once it is that they've come out to say it, the White House, has just dropped something that has now informed the backlash.
I hear what you're saying, but he didn't. He added in something that the White House didn't say. That's what I'm trying to say. When people communicate,
but let's wait and see what the White House has said.
All right, go
let's just see if what they have said is wild to you.
All right, come on,
right?
Come on.
Wow.
Work breaking this story wide open on the quantum teleportation technology, teleporting this craft out of thin air. Watch as it just vanishes in thin air as the orbs fly right around the outside of it, and it disappears. Boom, right there, gone.
No, it's still there.
Well, we looped it back.
Okay.
So I know it looks like it reappeared, but anyway. So this confirms what we've been reporting for years from whistleblowers, members of the military who've been on our show. We've spoken privately with them, also who've never been on the show, didn't want their faces on camera, who witnessed this technology in action. They worked on programs where this technology was in action. I want to play two clips for you now. One is from a few years ago. General Stephen Quast, he was the commander of the Air Education and Training Command at Joint Base San Antonio Randolph. And he was really pushing for Space Force at the time because of the technologies that we could employ from what he saw in action. So here he's explaining the technologies that he's seen on the desks of engineers at the United States Air Force. Watch.
The technology is on the engineering benches today, but most Americans and most in Congress have not had time to really look deeply at what's going on here. But I've had the benefit of 33 years of studying and becoming friends with these engineers and these scientists. This technology can be built today with technology that is not developmental to deliver any human being from any place on planet Earth to any other place in less than an hour, to deliver Wi-Fi from space where you never need a cell tower to connect, to deliver energy from space where you never have to plug your phone in and it trickle charges and you can use that energy over time.
Okay. Was anyone paying attention? We were. So this confirms what we've been reporting for years on this show. So let me repeat what he just said. Quote, we have tech today that can take you from anywhere on Earth to anywhere else in an hour. Wireless energy where you could never need to plug in anything again. He saw this technology while he was at the Air Force engineering offices in Colorado where he worked. The second just happened yesterday. The second clip I want to show you. Trump White House official from the Office of Science and Technology Director Michael Kriatsas says that we possess the technology that can manipulate time and space. Watch.
Our passenger planes are slower than they used to be. Our trains crawl compared to those in other parts of the world. Our cars do not fly. Advances have not stopped, but something has gone wrong. Stagnation was a choice. We have weighed down our builders and innovators. The well-intentioned regulatory regime of the 1970s became an ever-tightening ratchet, first hampering America's ability to become a net energy exporter and then making it harder and harder to build. We seem to have lost focus and vision, to have lowered our sights and let systems and structures and bureaucracies muddle us along. But we are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow and improve productivity.
Okay. So this is setting off all sorts of crazy alarm bells today. Friend of the show, physicist Ashton Forbes, posted this about the news. And like we have a lot of questions. So Kriatsas casually says we intentionally stagnated our technology in the 1970s, and now we have the tech to manipulate space and time. Wow. Ross Colhart, UFO investigator, posted this just a few minutes ago. President of the United States Science and Technology Advisor Kriatsas, a former undersecretary of DOD, makes the most extraordinary assertion here without any explanation that the United States technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. So tomorrow, I just spoke with Ashton Forbes. He's going to be on the show tomorrow. We're going to deep dive this. We've already talked about time.
Thoughts, Emmanuel?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating if it's all true. And to be fair, if it is true, I wouldn't say I'm totally surprised, to be fair.
Which part? Because you laughed at the whole teleportation stuff.
Yeah, because, I mean, we didn't see it. The man said, oh, here it is, boom, and it was still on the screen.
No, the clip just looped.
Yeah, that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? I've not seen anyone disappear. That's what I laughed at.
I've played this clip before where it hasn't looped.
I ain't seen it.
So
maybe I wasn't
you're
having
just
it.
fine with just sitting in that chair, comfortable as ever, with your white kicks on, right? He looks handsome today, people. He's got the white kicks, he's got the grey jeans, he's got the black top. You know, that combination works very well. It's like a real. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. But bear in mind, we have a short show today because of him. So hold all of that. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. So you're sitting there, and I know you're laughing at certain things, right? And depending on who it comes from, you will continue laughing, right? Like, if it keeps coming from me, you're going to continue laughing.
Do you know what it is? It's not that, you know. It's more so, I think sometimes I hear things that other people don't hear, I think. So, for example, in the last clip, when he was talking about that physicist who's a friend of their show, and says that this guy just casually said that we intentionally did something.
Stagnated,
in the 70s and and now he tells us this. In my head, he's made it sound a bit more insidious and you know what I'm saying? When really, to me anyway, it's just a matter of economics. And I think this is always the case. Well, maybe not always, but generally that's the case. They didn't have the funds to prioritize those particular things.
Stop. What he's referring to is private companies now looking to continue that research and looking to silence all of those free thinkers who would be innovating and developing all these particular jumps in technology, and then killing them. This is what the CIA was doing for long as well.
Is that what he's saying?
He's talking about Ashton Forbes. Ashton Forbes is one of the people, you don't know who he is, right? But this particular channel covers all those quote-unquote conspiracies.
No, but from just the clip though, I don't know any of this stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hearing any of these things that you just said.
I'm aware.
That's what I'm saying. So you're able to provide context, right? Because you obviously you know the channel and all that sort of stuff. But I'm hearing this, and I'm hearing him jump to a conclusion.
Let me step back a bit. Do you know who BlackRock is?
Yeah.
Who were they? Like, just summarize. Don't look to be specific. You don't need to.
They're a hedge fund, one of the most powerful in the world.
When you say powerful, what are they into?
Investments in various different things, new technologies. Yeah.
All right, cool. Lockheed and Martin, Scunthorpe.
I don't know.
Scunthorpe, sorry.
Yeah.
These are particular private companies who have cutting edge technology, like stuff that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And
it's always the private enterprise that do so.
They're the ones who the taxpayers in America, right? Who's sending all this money and they're saying it's going here and everywhere. They're getting the contracts, right? They're developing all these things for the war machine, right? And that's why they're so advanced. 100%. It's as you say, it's all about economics. It's all about power. It's all about control. But the CIA has been interwoven. You talk about how
100%.
they messed up your heroes,
Yeah.
and they sought certain things globally,
Yeah.
right? So this shouldn't be a surprise to you to hear
At all.
they have
Actively suppressed
stagnated.
us. Yeah. Even a couple of presidents have even spoken about this though. Who was it? Oh my goodness. A couple of presidents have spoken about this before.
Lovely.
Saying before they got into the White House. Did it happen to Obama? I can't remember. But it might have happened to Jimmy Carter, maybe even Reagan. Maybe even Reagan or Nixon. Anyway.
When you say it's just about economics and it's too expensive to do such and such, that's not the full story.
No, I
maybe
was
the
basing that
story
off
they
the clip.
basically share to the public.
Yeah. No, but that's what I was basing off the clip. And I'm also talking about that with regards to governments doing certain things. So when people say, why haven't we been back to the moon? It's money, it's economics. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about private stuff now, they can have the funds to do certain things and keep it to themselves. That's a different ballgame.
But the money that they're using is coming from the American public.
Not from the government. The government don't have no money.
No, what are you talking about?
Government don't have money.
They
have
all
your
the
money.
money that they're using it because of the contracts that they're getting from the government. And that is being funded by the American people. That's why you have these particular people saying, you're using our money for this, and you're not even telling us this is what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's not solely that. Remember, this is private. Private people can get their money from various different things, investments, and a plethora of different places.
100%.
So that's what I'm talking about. That's
guaranteeing
different to the government.
you, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Right? When you say the American government, who's the American government? What do you think the American government is? Because
I'm
it's
talking
these
about-
companies. What do you think the American government is?
No. Now you're obviously speaking about people who are behind the power. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about the White House in terms of White House policies and things of that nature. How much money we can apportion to different departments, different to do different things.
Yeah.
I'm differentiating that from the people behind that and the companies and stuff. They have their money, they have their power from various different investments and different things that they do. But in terms of the government financing maybe a NASA or financing something that's government related to go to the moon and do all these things like that.
Stop mentioning the moon.
That's basically what I'm talking.
The moon wasn't mentioned here, right?
No. It's just an example of basically cutting edge technology that governments can't necessarily prioritize. So when you're saying stuff about the private enterprises doing stuff, I'm with you. That's why I said it's always the private ones who get things done. It's not governments. That's why I need to stop taking our money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the government as you see the government because you have people in a hot seat. They're not permanent staff, so they can't ever be trusted with all this information anyway, right? They are, as much as anything else, they're pawns, right? Anyway, so you're saying if it's true, you're not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised.
But space and time, teleportation,
Only
energy.
I tell you why though. I tell you why, because it's still science and it's still physics, and I believe that eventually we're going to get there anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? All these things were, especially when you talk about manipulation of space and time. That's all Einstein's theories of relativity, 1905, 1915. You know what I'm saying? So these things no one had the resources to make these things real. But the ideas were there. Do you know what I'm saying? The manipulation of space and time, these things being relative, these things being able to change is physics. Do you know what I'm saying? But who's got the money, the time, and all that sort of to finance these things? Do you know what I'm saying? So when you're saying private people doing this, I'm with you.
He just said we. Who do you think he's talking about?
Which guy now? Which
The
one?
guy who was representing the government at the White House put his flipping video out, you know.
He said what? What did you mean he said?
The last-
Because remember he said, the guy said that he was saying that the stagnation was in the 70s, right?
I'm
On purpose.
talking about
Yeah.
the guy who you saw stood in front of the podium, the second clip,
second guy, yeah.
not him quoting Ashton's tweet.
Yeah, I know. But that sounded like he said we have prioritized other things over the past, what did he say, 30 years or so? I can't remember.
It says it's the 70s.
In the 70s, right? And that's why I said to me, it sounds like an economics issue. We have prioritized X, Y, and Z. But then I think you're basically saying what? What are you saying as a result of that, though?
Yes.
Or play it again so I
To
can.
be honest, I just
maybe
wanted your
missed
thoughts.
something.
Never mind. It's not important. I don't want it to be Wacky Wednesday, right? I just wanted to share it with you. I'll send you the clip. You could do it in your own time in it. But that is it. Let's get into topic of the day.
Cool.
I want everybody telling me I should stop talking about stupid stuff.
All right, people. Like I said, today's topic of the day is going to be based on this groundbreaking landmark ruling that the UK Supreme Court has made us aware of. And basically, this happened yesterday, 16th of April, 2025. And essentially, they've ruled that the legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex. So, you know, before yesterday, if you said anything kind of contrary to that, there's certain people that will come for you and things of that nature. Now you basically have the backing of the UK Supreme Court. But I do want us to get into this here briefly. Call up, people. Call up. I'll pretty much try and, I guess, take the opposing sides, whoever calls up. And I want to see, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing? Yeah. And just to be a bit specific, right? The judges said, and this is a quote now, that the concept of sex is binary. They've also cautioned that the landmark ruling should not be seen as a victory of one side over another. Because obviously, you know this is bound to happen, right? But transgender people still have legal protections from discrimination and things of that nature. There's a full 88-page judgment on this entire thing, right? If you're interested in it, of course, do your Googles and read up on it. So it's not a situation where it's like, oh yeah, they're no longer women, so let's attack them. You're just this, you're just that, whatever. Yeah, it's nothing to do with that. But it is basically making it clear. And funny enough, this is what was part of the manifesto, I believe. I was part of the manifesto, was part of Rishi Sunak's campaign when he was speaking about the Tories and what they stand for and the certain changes that they want to make to the NHS. Or should I say changes or things they want to keep the same? When he said, listen, a woman is a woman. A woman is a biological woman, and that's it, right? And so the UK Supreme Court has basically jumped on and basically said, yes, this is our ruling, X, Y, Z. The Scottish government, though, they've argued that transgender people with a GRC, which is a gender recognition certificate, are entitled to sex-based protections, right? While For Women Scotland, so that's an organisation, they argue that they only apply to to people that are born female. For this same organisation, they say it's grateful for the decision after a long road of legal battles. Because if you guys don't know, I remember one time we spoke about this briefly. I basically spoke about For Women Scotland and what they do in it, and basically how they're trying to make sure that certain protections, certain things that are in place and have known to be in place for women are solely for those born female, biologically female, right? So that's basically the idea behind this topic of the day. I kind of want to get into this and see if you guys agree with this, if anyone's kind of against this. I hope people who are anyone who's against this feels comfortable enough to call up. This ain't no bashing situation. This is none of that nonsense. Again, I've said it many times, man. Let's unify, you know what I'm saying? And organize. But this is important for us to discuss. So join the Discord, please.
You know how
Brent.
you said, not trying to basically relitigate stuff. You said you're black first before you are a spiritual being, or whatever faith you ascribe to. Does that also mean that's how you are able to not care about what people identify as, just as long as it is they're black? Fair.
That's exactly the reason. This is why I can say, leave your religion at the door. You know what I'm saying? So that we can unify. We don't have the luxury of having more things that divide us. That's one of the things that I kind of live by. And so that's basically, to answer your question, So there are a few things, like I said, I'm just going to keep talking about this until you guys call up.
You think anybody's going to chime in?
Or even somebody who's actually very happy about this. You know what I'm saying? Call up as well. You know what I'm saying? Make your feelings known.
I've put the poll up. The question is, what we saying? Do you like the ruling that the UK Supreme spelling mistake court
That's a diabolical mistake.
has instituted? Anyway, read between the lines. First option is yes, about time. Second is no, this is anti-progress. Nobody's touched that yet, and it's 24 votes. And 3 is I don't care.
Okay.
Interesting. 81% say yes, about time so far. Let's see who's in our community. Let's see who's in our community. All right.
And big up Sort of the Earth in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to do a vote for no, this is anti-progress, just so that it doesn't stay at 0. It's still at 0. It's now 34 votes. Go on.
Basically, she said J.K. Rowling needs an apology. Why is she saying that? Because J.K. Rowling, for the longest while, has been talking about this. She's been pushing for the fact that women, biologically born females, are women, and transgender women are not, right? Or at least they're not the same as biological females. And she's got so much flack for this. All them people that benefited from her storybooks, Harry Potter's, the Radcliffes, the Watsons of the world, all of them have, I don't want to say disowned her, but basically turned their back on her. She got so much backlash. But obviously, she's got money, man, and she got power, so she don't give a damn about none of them. But she basically spoke out about this landmark ruling. And she pretty much said, let me get it. Sorry, guys.
Still 0%.
She does a lot
now
of talking
on 49 votes.
Damn. What did she say? I'll read part of this article. She's known for, obviously, her controversial campaigning for women's rights. And she said that she's so proud to know the women who launched a series of legal challenges over what the definition of a woman is. She said during the ruling this morning, the UK Supreme Court ruled unanimously again in favour of the legal challenge brought by For Women Scotland, FWS, stating that the definitions of sex and woman in the Equality Act 2010 refer to biological sex, right? Again, to stress, they also added that trans people are still protected from discrimination under the same law. But we know what a woman is now, right? It's clear. She did say, obviously, it took 3 extraordinary, tenacious Scottish women with an army behind them to get this case heard by the Supreme Court. And in winning, they've protected the rights of women and girls across the UK. For Women Scotland, I'm so proud to know you. So that's J.K. Rowling's views on it. But yeah, this is the situation, man. So it's clear now, basically. What's this comment on the screen? This is by MOOO, who says, when did trans women claim to be biologically women? They say women, but not biologically. Yes. I don't think they would ever say they're biological women because that wouldn't even make no sense. But they are saying women. And so they are benefiting, or at least on paper, they would benefit from the same protections, the same rights, and also have access to the same things that biological women have. And I think that is the gripe. Why should they? You know what I'm saying? Because you'll be sharing certain spaces where women who are born biologically female may feel a particular way may feel a particular way about their safety, innit? And this has made it clear now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a case of, oh, they said they're biological women. We know they never said that. Wouldn't even make sense to say it. But they do say, I am a woman, just like you are a woman.
That's the point of the ruling.
Exactly.
The ruling says only biological females are women.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So they've made it clear in that regard. Also, many public bodies will now be reviewing their gender policies, right? But how much day-to-day change are we looking to see?
A lot of them been waiting for this moment, you know. They've been waiting patiently. Mm-hmm. That's so interesting. I wonder why that happened.
Well, it's like J.K. Rowling was saying, for Women Scotland, they had enough, man, of certain things, man. And they actually did it. They pushed for it to be seen and judged upon in court. For those who don't know, there's already Equality Act guidance, which allows for women-only spaces such as toilets, changing rooms, and hospital wards in certain circumstances. It says that this could be for reasons of privacy, decency, to prevent trauma, or to ensure health and safety. So where organizations want and where appropriate, they can already point to this to justify single-sex spaces, right? So this is in, obviously, the Equality Act. Remember, this is to clarify what the Equality Act means. Because in the Equality Act, it says women. Because in 2010, no one was thinking, you know what I'm saying, about the situations that we're facing today in 2025. So they're saying, listen, everything in there is for biological women. And so people can basically, again, like this article says, point directly to that article, to that act and say, listen, this is justification for us having single-sex spaces. Ben, what are you thinking about the implication for sports?
Well, that it'll be an immediate course correction, isn't it?
Yes, 100%.
Maybe that's like behind the scenes. Maybe that's what has like informed this particular decision. Obviously, we can see what's happening over there in America and like a complete U-turn on DEI and all that quote unquote left stuff. So maybe this is also this is all part of that particular tsunami of change.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to put a clip up that I want Brent to play. And again, I hope people understand this is not about bashing. This is nothing about these type of things. But it is important to kind of look at these particular things and kind of contextualize it. Because I do feel as though these rulings and how we form things in society, these societal structures, which are based on how we feel the world should operate and not necessarily based on science or biology, right, form our thinking. You know what I'm saying? And this one clip speaks to some parents who and their opinions on the whole transgender and gender identity.
We're now at 63 votes. 77% say yes, about time.
Okay.
23% say I don't care. 0% say no, this is anti-progress.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. All right, let's play the clip.
Age do you think most trans kids determine that they're trans?
Violet told us when she was 1.5. She's been...
What?
Yep.
So you're just highlighting it's the parents' fault.
Yeah. And I'm saying that in society, what tends to happen is we have certain I feel as though in certain places, people are pressured into having particular views, innit? And I think this ruling will help with certain things, because without the ruling, I think more of this would happen. And of course, I'm not this person's parent, innit? But if a parent is willing to come on camera and say, my 18-month-year-old child is telling me X, Y, and Z, and they're making decisions shortly after or some years later about what they're going to be. I think that's dangerous, man.
The thing is that you, in the corporate space, in the work world,
Yeah.
I haven't really been in there, right? But you could be sitting next to someone like this who thinks like this.
100%, Brent.
That kind of mindset could bleed into other things in life.
Not can. Will, Brent. Will bleed into other areas of life. 100%.
She comfortably said it as well, you know?
Yes, she did. And I believe, if this is the same clip, the husband backs her up.
Oh, wait a minute.
Telling us since she could speak. So she knew since birth.
Yeah. Yes, Beth. Says Beth.
What age do you think most trans kids determine?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it just sleeps again.
Okay. Oh, you could detect a loop.
Yes, because
All right, Jen. Never mind.
to be fair, you know what? I'm definitely
No litigation. Let's leave it as entertainment, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
There's the next clip in there, and fortunately, again, I'm not trying to be somehow. I really am not, right? But fortunately, this the result of this went the right way.
Gosh.
I'm honestly, I'm not trying anything.
No. I just don't know why people are doing this.
Oh yeah.
I just don't know why.
But the reason why I brought this up is because of what I just mentioned to you before about the implications of this ruling in sport. But this is a legit thing. I went into this woman's Instagram, and she's like a proper into jiu-jitsu. Yes, the woman. Yes, on the right. Anyway, play the clip.
But this is in favor of.
That's what I'm saying. I said, fortunately, this went the right way.
Not in favor of. Obviously now the court has ruled. In favor of the woman.
100%.
Look how quick I've changed my language. Is this how this works?
Yes.
It seems so fluid. Fluid. Look, right?
Yeah.
This is a bit weird. Only because you can that the individual on the left,
Yes.
it could have easily have been like a fluffy woman or like a woman with, with a little body. So that wrestling stuff doesn't mean anything to me. It's just, I guess, mixed weight wrestling. They don't normally do that kind of stuff anyway, right?
What, as in jiu-jitsu? As in
Mixed
with,
weight one.
I don't think so. I think you have to be a certain weight class.
All right. So she's like a celebrity or some community thing that it's not official.
I don't know.
There's a weight class for these things, no?
Yeah, I believe so.
Maybe
But they might have fell into the same weight class.
how? Or depending on how
You
they've
never know.
done the weight class.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, good that the winner won. Yeah.
So yeah, again, just I play that only because of the implications of for sports, because obviously that could have easily gone the wrong way, and the other woman or the woman have her neck broken and all sorts of stuff, and they'll just say this is sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that woman could have broken. I don't think it's too soon, man. I can't say the man. It's too soon, man.
No, it's the trans woman.
The trans woman.
But they're still trans women. Yeah, they're still trans.
Oh,
They're just not women.
fair.
Yeah, they're trans women.
I feel comfortable doing that then.
Yeah.
Trans woman,
There you go.
new G, new gen.
There you go.
Yeah. Cool. I'm still good. I've still got cover.
But yeah, as you guys know, this has been something that has been prevalent in sports. In recent years, many sports have tightened up their rules around transgender athletes at the elite level. I believe there's been some transgender cyclists, swimmers, weightlifters, all that sort of stuff. Just breaking records, you know? You know what I'm saying? So obviously, they may change certain things in it. regarding the GRC certificates, yeah. So again, this is one of the things I believe. This is probably the thing that ruined. What's her name? The Scottish PM, the former Scottish PM. What is her name? Why has her name escaped me? Oh man, what's her name? Sturgeon, Nicola Sturgeon. Yeah, why it ruined her time in office. Because she was really pushing for this. She really wanted to remove the obstacles that will allow people to really be out there calling themselves women and all that sort of stuff. I believe she said something along the lines of, as long as you believe that you are, I believe you only need 3 months of that idea. I believe, tell a doctor, I believe, in that time period, and then you should have access to your GRC. So again, the GRC, guys, is the Gender Recognition Certificate. The Supreme Court justices emphasized that transgender people already have protections against discrimination and harassment written into this Equality Act, right? The arguments in court centered on whether trans women with these GRCs should be treated as women by the Equality Act. So again, this is what this is about. And basically they're stressing that every mention of women in the Equality Act is about biological women, biological females. The Scottish government has argued that sex can be legally changed via the GRC process, and a transgender woman with a gender recognition certificate should have protections of that sex. The campaign group for Women Scotland argued that these protections should only apply to people that are born female. And again, they won, right? Relatively few trans people have GRCs, by the way, according to this article, and the judgment concluded that if they were treated differently to those who do not have certificates, it would create an unworkable two-tier system of protections for the group. Some people in the transgender community now worry that GRCs have lost their legal weight and will only serve as a symbolic purpose from now on. So yeah, essentially, guys, this is basically what the ruling is, man. I think I pretty much covered a lot of it. The only other thing is, to go back to the whole sporting thing, is the FA said that there were 20 transgender women registered to play amateur football in England, yeah, among the millions who play at that level. So I've heard this argument a few times from people who support that side, yeah, that a lot of these things don't even affect a lot of people. It's only like a small percentage of people who ever get into particular sports who are up against people who are biologically female. So why are we even speaking about this sort of stuff? But still, things change, man. At the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, the weightlifter Laurel Hubbard became the first openly transgender athlete to compete at an Olympic Games in a different category to that which they were born. So this is what would have continued to happen. We've got a comment on the screen. Mr. The Fall 3 says, I think the problem with this discussion off top is there isn't a trans person here speaking. Okay, I hear you. If there's any trans people in the chat, please call up. You don't need to give your real name or whatever. But call up. We want to hear from you, man. But I don't know why they need to call up, to be honest with you.
And suppose Caitlyn Jenner calls up.
Yo, Caitlyn, call up, man.
But she's not going to be for the movement, though.
That is true. Because Caitlyn Jenner knows full well that she, yes, I think that's right, she is a trans woman and not a woman. And this is, at least in the UK anyway. When she comes over to the UK, yeah, that's a trans woman and not a woman. And that's what the UK Supreme Court has ruled, man. So I don't really understand why a trans person needs to call up to, if by the way, you're implying they'll call up to challenge what I'm saying, I'm reading and speaking about the ruling. And this is, again, not a bashing exercise, not interested in none of that nonsense. This is just to let the people know that the UK Supreme Court has said the Equality Act 2010, all mentions of women in there is about biological females. Vaughn has a question. He says, quick question. I'm aware that this is specific to trans and not directly related, but curious to know what people think about Caster Semenya. We had this discussion on the show a few times, didn't it? Especially during the time where we had the Olympic boxer fighting. When was this, last year? It's a tricky one though. It's a tricky one because with Caster Semenya, I'm not too sure. You guys will need to tell me. But if this situation is similar to the Algerian boxer, their chromosomes are not XX. If your chromosome's not XX, you're not a biological female because that's all there is. It's XX and it's XY. I'm not talking about the 0.000%, 0.1% of people who have some other thing. But I believe the boxer, I can't remember what her name is, man. I don't want to be disrespectful, just keep calling her boxer. But the Algerian lady, what's her name? Somebody said in the chat? Nope. Anyway, her thing.
Oh, wasn't she intersex?
Yeah, something like that. I think that's
she
what
had
people
internal testes.
Yes, exactly. But her chromosomes, if I'm not mistaken.
This is Caster, right?
No,
talking about Caster.
I'm not too sure about Caster though.
I'm talking about Caster. I'm reading it now.
Oh, is it? Do you know her chromosomes?
Chromosomes. She had 46 XY chromosomes, typically male and naturally high testosterone levels.
There you go. That's biologically male then.
She had internal testes.
Yeah. And I think a similar, again, I don't want to conflate things and mix things up, but the Algerian woman, because I don't know too much about Caster Semenya's one, innit? But Algerian woman, if I'm not mistaken, is also XY chromosomes. This is why I was telling people on the show.
It was similar to this.
Yeah, similar, innit? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I just don't know about the Caster Semenya thing. But yeah. And when she obviously was born, because the testes are internal, they can't really detect certain things, innit? And also, I believe the female parts developed as well. The doctor said, yeah, this is a woman, or said this is a female. But again, looking at the chromosomes, and sometimes these things don't show up until puberty, innit? They start developing a bit more in a masculine way, innit?
Yeah.
And that's why it then comes to the forefront.
But the intersex is patently different to the conversation about the trans, though.
Yeah, 100% it is.
Yeah.
100%, yeah. Thank you for even saying that. Yes, 1,000,000,000% different. But obviously, Von also said it as well. It's not directly related. But yeah, 100% is completely different, guys. So don't mix that in with this particular situation. These are trans women or trans whatever are basically people who feel were born in the wrong body, innit? I don't want to put words into their mouth, but yeah. And so obviously they've made certain changes in their life to then live out what they believe they are meant to be. So that's completely different. But yeah. Yeah, that's all I
This
pretty much have to
person
say.
has said that was 100% misinfo about who chromosomes. Who are you referring to? And please provide
Source.
the source. Thank you.
Yeah, please do, man. Please do. But yeah, with regards to the Algerian woman, though, I believe that is not misinformation, though. I believe that's XY. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's XY. That's what I heard anyway, that she had XY chromosomes. So that's why I don't know too much about the Caster Semenya thing. But yeah. That's pretty much it, Brent.
All right, then.
Let's move into the reaction.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. All right. Anyone who would like to speak on Arsenal, please make your way to the Discord and you can share your jubilation. You can share all the joy. If you have any negative takes, you can share that too. It's just an Arsenal segment.
And while we're waiting for you, I just wanted to let some people know, obviously, one of the biggest fights of the year, in terms of popularity anyway, and anticipation, is the Eubank versus Ben fight, innit? That's going to be on the 26th, so not this week, the following week. And Chris Eubank Sr. is out. People hadn't heard from him for a while, innit? I wanted to know his views. Well, they know his views, innit? But they wanted to know...
What is this about? Please be specific when you say things like this. Can fact checking be done during the show, please? What is this in relation to? Is this Arsenal? Because we won yesterday. Let me know what this is in relation to. What is false? What is erroneous? And If it is, please show your sources.
Yeah, man. Give me an opportunity to say, sorry, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't just say things. Because some part of that has changed.
All right.
From yesterday. So anyway. So Eubank Senior, he's back, man. And
I saw a clip. What was it?
Was it?
What's he doing?
No, he basically was just talking about how he really is against that fight, innit? He really doesn't want that fight to happen, man. He's rejected attending the fight. He's not going to be in his son's corner. People are hopeful. If I'm being entirely honest, I would like to see him there. But I do understand his stance, innit? And he really believes something bad could happen. And this is what he was saying the first time. And people was acting like, oh, he's mad and this, that, and the third. Till we found out what he knew. You know what I'm saying? Remember the first time, they were trying to bring Eubank down to 157 pounds. This guy fights at, what, for 168? Sometimes 160 or whatever. In between them things there. They wanted to bring him down to 157. Conor Ben would come up. Okay, Nadia M has said it was about the previous topic discussing trans and biological women.
You still haven't provided any
what's false
further
about
clarity.
Please be fast. I gotta go. Yeah. He's really against it, man. And he's basically saying these are some of the things that we kind of forget about and turn a blind eye to that can lead to people getting seriously hurt in the sport. For those who don't know, remember Eubank had that fight with Michael Watson. To this day, Michael Watson is in the wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Severe brain damage in the early 90s when they fought. And he's been affected by that. Conor Ben's dad, Nigel Ben, he fought Gerald, what's his name, McClellan. McClellan was a killer in the ring, and everyone thought Nigel Ben was gonna lose, innit? I think he even dropped Nigel Ben in the first round or something crazy early in the fight. But Nigel Ben, obviously, he's a warrior, man. He came back and he beat McClellan. But again, same thing happened to McClellan. You know what I'm saying? Severe brain damage, man. So these guys have this personal experience. Eubank also said his older brother as well was kind of just used as fodder. Lost 20 fights, constant damage to his brain, and later died like with severe dementia and just being a shell of himself. He said he didn't even have the courage to go and see his brother in the last 6 months because of how bad he looked. So all these things, plus he's lost his son as well. I believe Sebastian, a couple years back as well. You know, so all these things are happening in his life, and he's saying to his son Chris, "Yo, this is insane. This is murder potentially." Do you know what I'm saying? And he's saying, "Listen, I understand that it may seem like I'm exaggerating, but I've been in a ring with somebody who was at the same weight class as me. You are coming down to a weight class you've not fought at, 157 pounds, right? Putting in certain rehydration clauses and things of that nature. And Conor Ben's coming up. Plus, remember the first fight, Conor Ben had the PEDs in the system. Imagine how that could have gone. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I say all of that just to say that Eubank Senior, he's got legit gripes in it, and he really wishes that this fight doesn't go ahead. He also said he feels as though the way the young men have acted during the fight, during the lead up to the fight, has been disgraceful. He didn't like the fact that his son threw or slapped, I should say, Conor Ben with the egg. He didn't like the way Conor Ben's been talking, swearing all over the damn place. Said, you're meant to be a Christian. Christ didn't speak like this, etc., etc. And just saying that as boxers, even though we go in the ring and we fight, and it seems kind of barbaric, there is still an honor about us. You know what I'm saying? When we're addressing the British public, that we need to kind of carry on. And yeah, he's just not happy about it, man. He's really not happy about it. So I just wanted to mention that before you guys talk about the Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? Also, as well, this Sunday, I believe, we got the Ben Whittaker fight against Liam Cameron. Remember the first fight ended in a draw or something, where it seemed like, to me anyway, and to most people, that Whittaker was happy to get out of that fight. Yeah, the rematch is going to be there, man. Is there a show on Friday? Yes. Why? Have you had something different, Gin and Jest?
Because it's Good Friday, isn't it?
Oh yes, thank you. That's true, you know. But I do observe.
So that means that
Good
there is a show. Shush, there is a show on Friday. Like this Emmanuel and myself who's going to be here.
I didn't know though. I need the
It doesn't
freedom
matter.
to express my Christianity.
What? You can't identify.
Christ was killed.
You can't identify. Yeah. You can't identify as a Christian now, bro.
That's painful.
You're gonna be in.
But yeah, man. Yeah, that's all I've got to pretty much say, man.
Yeah,
Anybody
Gina's
in
not gonna
Discord?
be in though because she asked the same question. Imagine she effed off to France to see Usher, right? So she could make Monday, right? And then she's like, Fridays, a holiday.
Imagine.
What have you ever observed? Friday.
Oh man.
So it would just be both of us. It would just be both of us. Or if it is anybody wants to come into the studio on that morning, then please hit me up. It'd be lovely. But if not, it would just be myself and Emmanuel. And that's it.
Yeah, man.
All right, Emmanuel has to go now.
Anybody in Discord?
And if anybody does not come to the Discord in the next 15 seconds to share their thoughts on Arsenal, then we are going into the wrap-up. I believe I've already expressed my thoughts in the intro. And this was for any other Arsenal fans to come and share theirs, to commit it to living record. If it is that there isn't any within the next 15 seconds, we are going into the wrap-up. There is 10 seconds left. There is 10 seconds left. Or there are 10 seconds left. My mother would get on to me for that. There are 10 seconds left.
9, 8.
Okay.
It's Veronica.
Okay.
She jumped out to talk about Casa Semenya.
Come on, Veronica.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Blessed
All
and highly
good, all
favored.
good, thank you.
Did you enjoy the Arsenal win yesterday?
I don't watch football. Sorry.
Come on. Men are playing, so you're not interested in that. I hear that.
Yeah, but it looks like the Arsenal didn't work with the women's rights. So I woke up really, really happy, you know? So I want to shout out to all the women that fought for us and brought autonomy back to women, as it should be. Because I think with these, I don't know what they call themselves, trans women.
Yes.
At the end of the day, biologically, they're still men. So their psychology is still male-centered. They still have this sense of entitlement and, authority over women. And this was based on biological facts, which is gender, which is a real thing. And the physiologic reactions of biology of a woman, tissue health, genetics, age. And I think that they've tried to brainwash people by using psychological tools and sociology tools, like, interpersonal relationships, socioeconomics, and this sense of belief. I believe I'm a woman. I feel like a woman. That's not real because that's an emotion, right? And emotions can change rapidly. So I'm really, really happy that this has been passed on because we have to protect women. And I just want to read a note that I wrote down about women. Where is it? I want everyone to know, basically, males see women as divine, naturally. Therefore, their reasons to blame women for everything is bound to happen. So let's say, for instance, women didn't win this right. Men would turn around and blame women and say, look at you lot. You lot didn't fight for your rights. Now you got men in your spaces. So this is really, really good. And then the next thing is, all of this is the doing of patriarchal philosophies created by the white man. And these men have stripped women of their rights of autonomy in providing for themselves, sexual freedom, resource control, equity in the job market, equal pay, and intellectual respect. So they have put males in places that they wanted to put these I don't even call them trans women. I think they're transvestites, because you can never be a woman if you're not a woman. So these transvestites try to put themselves in women places so they can run rampant. We've heard of cases of these transvestites going to women places like the bathroom and raping women, even like.
Veronica, that's been absolutely amazing. I appreciate all of that. Those notes that you put down, and I think some of the women in the chat really loved your thoughts. Thank you. Emmanuel's gone. I'm gonna wrap the show up, but I definitely need to hear from an Arsenal fan. Jay.
All right, no problem.
Thank you. Bye.
Shout out to all the ladies. Bye.
JD.
It's a historical result, and hopefully we can jam our way to the final and win it.
All right, you're confident?
I'm quietly optimistic.
Correct.
Because anything can happen. They can win 1 minute and then go lose to Ipswich. So you never know. Just hopefully we turn up.
Going into the game, were you anxious?
I'm gonna say yeah, because I noticed that at one point I was shaking, which I was like, raw. But I knew that it wouldn't be a high scoring game, but I was, even if it was around 70th minute, you just know that with Real Madrid in the Champions League, there might be a 10-minute, 5-minute spell that like a madness could happen in football. It's football, anything can happen. But and I have to actually say, like, man of the match for Declan Rice every single time. He was just mopping up everything, cutting out passes. Like, he rose it to the standards. He did a good shift. So because of that, like, we just was able to close everything out. And Madrid themselves, not that I'm watching enough La Liga, but you could see, like, when it comes to the attacking play, they're reliant on individual maverick opportunities. So not playing as a team in terms of build up and everything. So that plus with us being solid in the midfield, like it wasn't going to happen. So luckily we closed it out. And big up Saka for unfortunately missing the penalty, but still got his chip at the end.
What do you say to people that say that wasn't Madrid? You should have turned them over anyway.
What do you mean that wasn't Madrid?
It wasn't the Real Madrid. They've been rubbish all season.
And I hear that. We've been rubbish all season, and look at what's happening around our league. So it has to be your time, because this league that Liverpool are about to win, they are not meant to be winning it. But we got to hold that. Chelsea did in 2002. We got to hold that. Hopefully this will be our year. So it's football. Hopefully it aligns for you and you can capitalize. If you don't, they come and tell you that you're bottlers.
I like that. Let's just say. Whoa. Hello, Kofi?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to congratulate the boys yesterday.
Wait a minute.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. JT, sorry. PSG, are you quietly optimistic?
Yeah, but it's annoying that number 5 got himself sent off. I'm trying to see how that midfield's going to be, because everything's in the midfield.
Yikes, right.
How we're going to set up. Just for the record, I called him number 5 for reasons I know. But yeah, unlikely going to happen. But it will be amazing if we can somehow bring Skelly in the midfield. He could do that job. Then put Timber left back and then right back Ben White. But like, who knows? Physically as a team, they're not imposing, so we can mop them up. So I was so happy that Rice didn't get a yellow card. So maybe hopefully just Junior can come back, and then it can just be him, Odegaard, which he needs to rise it, because my days.
Well, we will have Havertz back. So
are you sure? For PSG?
I think if anything, it's for the final. Because
okay,
I'm not sure.
Okay,
yeah,
but
I'm not
sure
how
it goes.
Thank you very much, JT. Kofi, talk to me.
I'll be quick. Yeah, no, I just want to congratulate the boys yesterday. Great result. Obviously, just a fantastic result. Brent, we beat Real Madrid 5-1 on the aggregate. You know how crazy that is?
Crazy.
5-1.
Crazy.
You know, we're the only team that actually won both their legs. You know, against the holders. And you know what's? No, someone like I'm going to speak to Margs here. Yeah, someone like Margs will rubbish this result. Say, oh no, they're not good. This, that, and the third. What has Arteta done? Does he think we would have done this under late stage Wenger or Emery? We weren't doing stuff like this. So
times.
we were not doing things like this. So this is why I got to give Arteta the biggest praise. But actually, yeah, this is what I wanted to call about. If we win the final, I would have come into that studio. I don't want mugs in that studio. I'm dead serious, man. I want to see that bald man in that studio. I'm going to have words, man. Yeah.
Question, do you watch a lot of Filthy Feather content?
I don't actually watch too much Filthy Feather content. But, yeah, I watch content here. And Marcus has a lot of energy. Yeah. If we win the Champions League, I'm going to be there. Also, I'll be there to question E-Man about his political views. But mainly there for Marks.
I am just enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the ride. This whole, if we win it's going to set us up for another disastrous reaction if it is that we don't. So I'm just enjoying every single game. Every single game that we are seeing that we have the structure, we have the organization, we have the building blocks going into the transfer window. I am enjoying every single minute of it.
Yeah. The structure is brilliant. And what I like about this is that the team is still quite young. So even if we don't win this year, we got the building blocks for next year. We're doing this without a striker. Yeah. So can you imagine if we have a striker as well? So the building blocks, man. Well-coached team. We don't panic. Even when they score their goal, we didn't panic. We didn't, other teams have, with Real Madrid, Bernabeu, you start crumbling. We did not crumble, man. We stayed calm. And then we got the second goal and killed them off. This team is.
It looked like they knew they deserved to be there, though.
Exactly. No fear.
None.
No fear whatsoever, man. Just strong guy. Yeah, man. So yeah, just want to praise the boys, man. Such a great result.
All right, PSG. What we saying, Kofi?
I think. You know what? So if you told me last week or after they beat Liverpool, I'm saying they're really difficult. They showed some weakness against Villa. That defense did not hold up at all, and they were kind of lucky they got through because Villa had a lot of chances towards the end. So my thing is they attack really well, but they leave a lot of space. And if we can hold out against their attack, and we go against them, like I think obviously they've got two excellent fullbacks. Yeah, really good. But they leave a lot of space behind. So I think if we can counter them well, we've got a chance. Yeah, as JT said, the big issue for me is I think the first leg is at home. I'm not sure, but without number 5,
it is.
Yeah, without number 5, it could be tricky because although I like Jorginho, his legs have really gone, and he can't get around the pitch. So there's either we play him and just hope that he can have a good game, or maybe put Rice at 6. But I don't really like Rice at 6 because I like him higher at the pitch when he can get around the pitch. So we just have to wait and see. But I reckon if we can win the first leg at home with Jorginho and then go to Paris away with Partey, I think that'll be enough. I reckon we just have to win that first leg. If we can do that, we'll be in the final, in my opinion.
Thank you very much, Kofi. Good morning.
No worries.
Good morning, Godders, and good morning, DCF Mooks.
Morning all.
Morning.
Big up the measured Arsenal fans.
Thank you. What are your thoughts?
Nah, big up to them. They did their thing, man. Like I said from early, if you lot win, congrats. But I won't be able to accept the barrage of overhype and madness that comes afterwards, because a lot of Arsenal fans are gonna be like, yeah, we're the best, da kind of thing. Just doing too much basically. But big up is a great result. 5-2 is like no one ever would have envisioned that happening in it. But Arsenal did their thing. They did the basics very well. They took their chances. And I think it benefited Arsenal that the likes of Kai Havertz weren't playing. Because I don't think you guys would have won convincingly if the likes of him was playing. But big up, you did your thing, man. You can't hate on it, man. PSG is gonna be a different task, man. Yeah, they beat my team, but they're a different kettle of fish. They're very measured. They're very clinical. They're very dangerous on the breaks. Like, may the best team win, man. If you lot do it again and get to the final, big up. We got the title in it, so I'm happy regardless. But if you man do your thing and get to the final and do the madness, bro, big up, man.
Thank you very much, Goddess. Thank you very much. DCF Mooks.
Yeah, just want to echo what everybody else was saying. It was a serious night. I don't know. I'm just like so in shock. And we beat Real Madrid without a striker. The whole of the UK were doing a nationwide hate watch, and we just got out of it like without sweating. Real Madrid didn't even cause us like. If you really think about it, they haven't really caused us any problems within the 2 games. It was really, I don't know. I think I owe Mikel Arteta some flowers, so I just give him like a
just a little daisy, yeah.
Yeah, just a little daisy,
not a bouquet,
just a small bouquet. Daisy. You know, as the £5 ones, just something small because he's passed his exams, bro.
Yeah.
I think we had those discussions in the Discord where it's like, I just wasn't sure if he was understanding where he was going wrong. I think he's gotten that. He's proven me wrong. So he deserves his credit more than anything else. And Kivior, he came in and everybody was like, "Oh, Gabriel's not in the lineup. We're gonna struggle." It's like we haven't missed him. We haven't missed Gabriel.
You're right. Our star defender. Our star
Polish defender, man. Shout outs to all the Polskis. Like, he's really stepped up. So to do all this without a striker, with our backup centre back as well, it's crazy. So I don't know about the PSG. I think is a good matchup for us.
Yep.
Because they like to play.
Yep.
They don't really sit back as tough.
Yep.
The only team that I'm fearful of is Inter Milan. I think they're more similar to us, and they have the potential to do like a smash and grab.
Okay.
So I'm not really worried about Barca. It's literally just Inter. But we hope and pray. In Jesus' name, inshallah. Do both of them, man.
There we go. Amen. Shalom.
Don't forget about the shalom, man. Don't forget about the shalom.
Thank you very much, JDT Jan. Thank you, Kofi. Thank you, Godders. Thank you, DCF Mooks. And thank you very much, Veronica. Love you all. I need to go. Talk to you later. Bye.